Vinegar is more than just a kitchen staple. It is one of the most underestimated tools for energetic transformation. In spiritual traditions across cultures, vinegar is seen as a natural purifier, capable of absorbing and neutralizing the invisible toxins that linger in our living spaces and emotional fields. When used intentionally, it becomes a bridge between the physical and the spiritual, a liquid prayer that resets the vibrational tone of your environment and your life. Everything around us carries energy. Walls, furniture, and even the air in your home can absorb vibrations from arguments, stress, sickness, financial struggles, or past trauma. These vibrations, though unseen, can grow dense over time, forming energetic blocks that manifest as constant bad luck, emotional fatigue, relationship friction, or a feeling that no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to move forward. Vinegar enters this scenario as a silent warrior, a humble, natural element that doesn't just clean surfaces, but cleanses energies. When vinegar is placed in specific areas of your home, it begins to absorb these invisible energies like a sponge. You may not see the change immediately, but you can feel it. A room may suddenly feel lighter. You may sleep better. Unexpected opportunities may begin to surface. The spiritual stagnation that was anchoring you in patterns of lack and limitation starts to dissolve. This is not magic in the fantastical sense. It's the science of subtle energy and intention working hand in hand with an ancient tool of purification. Vinegar carries the elemental power of both earth and acid. It breaks down what no longer serves and returns things to a natural state of clarity and flow. When placed with intention, especially in the corners of rooms, under the bed, or near the main door, it acts like an energetic detox. These locations are often places where energy collects, stagnates, and if not cleared, begins to decay the flow of abundance in your life. A simple bowl of vinegar sitting silently in a room can do the work of hours of energetic cleansing, quietly absorbing what you've unknowingly been carrying for years. The key to unlocking vinegar's true power lies in your awareness. This isn't about superstition. It's about symbolism and conscious action. When you place vinegar with the belief that you are cleansing your space and resetting your energy field, you are signaling the universe that you are ready to release old patterns. You are demonstrating a willingness to let go of clutter, both physical and emotional, and make room for what's next. You are aligning your inner world with the outer, which is the true foundation of any spiritual wealth practice. Sometimes we carry energetic weight we don't even realize is not ours. Emotional residue from family members, financial stress passed down through generations, or trauma soaked into the very walls of the spaces we inhabit. All of it can linger and influence our daily lives. Vinegar gives us a tool to gently and silently dissolve these cords. It doesn't just clean, it transforms. And in that transformation, we find ourselves lighter, clearer, and more open to the flow of prosperity. Many people who use vinegar in their spiritual rituals report sudden shifts in mood, luck, and energy. It's not uncommon to hear stories of breakthroughs, peace, or relief within a day or two of placing it. That's because spiritual stagnation doesn't need a dramatic exorcism to release. Sometimes all it needs is a small act of awareness, a bowl of vinegar placed with quiet reverence, and the energy begins to shift. The simplicity of the act is part of its beauty. In a world that often equates success with complexity, vinegar reminds us that some of the most powerful rituals are the simplest. You don't need fancy crystals, elaborate ceremonies, or expensive courses. You need presence. You need intention, and you need the courage to believe that even a basic item like vinegar, when aligned with spiritual purpose, can shift the very course of your reality. Using vinegar as a purifier is not about changing the external world directly. It's about changing your internal state and allowing the external to follow. When your space is energetically clean, your thoughts become clearer, your decisions sharper, and your magnetism stronger. You begin to attract what aligns with your elevated frequency. And in that new vibrational space, poverty and bad luck cannot thrive. They dissolve just like the energies the vinegar absorbs, quietly, completely, and with grace. Every home has unseen energy zones, places where emotions settle, memories echo, and vibrations collect. These are what many ancient traditions and modern energy workers refer to as power zones. These spaces are not just physically important, they are spiritually charged. When ignored, they become reservoirs for negativity, stagnation, and scarcity. But when intentionally activated or cleansed, so especially using natural purifiers like vinegar, they become portals of transformation. These three power zones, if left unchecked, often become breeding grounds for bad luck, financial instability, and emotional heaviness. The first power zone is the entrance of your home. This is the mouth of energy flow. In Feng Shui, it's called the mouth of Qi, because it's where all the energy, positive or negative, enters your living space. Think about it, everything that comes into your life begins with the front door. People walk in with their emotions. Deliveries carry external vibrations. News, events, and intentions all energetically pass through that entryway. If this zone is cluttered, dirty, or energetically polluted, you are unknowingly inviting stagnation and scarcity into your sacred space. Placing a small bowl of vinegar near the door works as an energetic filter. It absorbs the low vibrations before they can seep deeper into your home, ensuring that only clarity, abundance, and positivity are allowed to enter. The second power zone is the corners of your home, especially the farthest ones from the entrance. Corners are energetic catchers. They accumulate what we don't deal with: fear, resentment, stress, worry. These emotions don't just vanish, they settle into spaces we rarely look at. If left stagnant, these corners begin to act like magnets for more negativity. Spiritually, this is where energy goes to die or get stuck. That stuck energy manifests as repeated arguments, poor sleep, financial drains, or a persistent sense of being overwhelmed. Vinegar, when placed in these corners, especially in a transparent glass bowl, begins to draw out the emotional sludge. Over time, it becomes discolored, which is a physical sign of the metaphysical work it's doing. Replacing the vinegar regularly becomes a ritual of renewal, a reminder that just as we clean our floors, we must also cleanse the energy that surrounds us. The third and perhaps most powerful energy zone is under the bed or in the bedroom. This is the place of rest, dreams, and intimate vulnerability. The bedroom is where your subconscious is most active, where you recharge your body and download intuitive insights during sleep. If this space is carrying unhealed trauma, emotional pain, or the echo of past relationships, it deeply affects your ability to receive. Many people don't realize that clutter or negative energy under the bed can lead to restless nights, low self-worth, and even blockages in financial growth. Placing a bowl of vinegar under the bed, especially near the center, acts as an energetic vacuum. It pulls the heaviness out of the space and supports emotional healing during sleep. Over time, people report feeling lighter, having more vivid and positive dreams, and even waking up with clearer ideas and more motivation. What unites these three power zones is not just their spiritual importance, it's their influence over your emotional frequency, which in turn affects your financial reality. Scarcity is not just a material condition, it is an energetic pattern. When we live surrounded by stuck energy, even the best strategies and hardest work don't seem to bear fruit. we feel like we're climbing uphill with no traction. But when we clear these zones intentionally, we change the energetic blueprint of our lives. We start to align with ease, flow, and unexpected opportunities. These practices are not about superstition, they are about symbolism. When you place vinegar in these zones, you are doing more than placing a liquid. You are declaring, I am choosing to cleanse. I am ready to release. I invite abundance into my life. That declaration, combined with physical action, creates a shift that ripples through your entire being and environment. And once that shift begins, poverty and bad luck no longer feel at home in your space. Your home is an extension of your energy field. These power zones are its pulse points. Keep them clean. Keep them sacred. And let a humble bowl of vinegar be your ally in transforming the energetic story of your life in the grand dance of the universe. It's not always the big moves that create lasting change. It's the small, consistent rituals we perform with intention. The universe responds not just to what we say we want, but to what we repeatedly do. Every action, no matter how minor, carries energy. And when done consistently and mindfully, even something as simple as placing a bowl of vinegar in a corner becomes a powerful declaration to the universe. I am ready to shift. I am creating space for transformation. Rituals have existed for millennia. They are the invisible threads that connect us to the divine, the subconscious, and the collective energy field of all living things. While modern life often overlooks the spiritual importance of daily practices, the truth is that we are ritualistic beings. The way we start our mornings, how we organize our space, how we interact with our surroundings, all of it forms a pattern that the universe watches closely. When these actions are infused with conscious intention, they become a signal to unseen forces that we are aligning ourselves with a new frequency. Placing vinegar in certain areas of your home might seem trivial on the surface, but energetically, it's much more than that. It is a symbolic act of release and readiness. Every time you walk past that bowl, you are subconsciously reminded that something in your life is being cleansed. You may not see the energy being absorbed, but your spirit feels it, and the universe, attuned to the language of action and vibration, begins to recalibrate in your favor. This is the essence of ritual. It marries the physical and the metaphysical in quiet yet profound ways. There is something incredibly powerful about repetition. When you perform the same sacred act day after day, you are not only rewiring your beliefs, but you are also grounding a new energetic rhythm into your reality. Replacing the vinegar regularly becomes a meditative act, a moment to pause, reflect, and reset. Each time you do it, you're not just cleaning a physical space, you are also resetting the emotional tone, clearing psychic clutter, and reinforcing your message to the universe. I no longer welcome what drains me. I am preparing to receive what elevates me. The universe, in its intricate wisdom, thrives on clarity. When we are unclear, distracted, or inconsistent, our energy becomes scattered. But through ritual, we anchor ourselves, we become focused, intentional, and in that focus, we become magnetic. Opportunities, people, and resources begin to flow toward us, not by chance, but because we have created a fertile field for them to land. Consider this: you can't grow flowers in a garden full of weeds. Similarly, abundance cannot take root in an energetic field cluttered with old pain, unresolved memories, and chaotic vibrations. The ritual of cleansing, no matter how small, begins to till the soil of your life. It removes what no longer serves. It breaks up the hardened layers of fear and doubt. It nourishes the space with attention, love, and alignment. And once the space is clear, the seeds of wealth, joy, and peace can finally begin to grow. One of the biggest misconceptions people have about transformation is that it has to be dramatic. But the truth is, most spiritual and energetic shifts are subtle, almost imperceptible, until one day everything changes. You wake up with a new idea. You receive an unexpected offer. You find yourself smiling for no reason. That's the power of ritual. It works slowly, deeply, and permanently, and it teaches us patience, presence, and trust. So when you place vinegar in your home, do it with awareness. Light a candle. Say a few words of release. Breathe deeply. Make it sacred. Let it be more than a task. Let it be a message, a prayer, a promise. And when you repeat this simple act regularly, you are not just shifting energy, you are shifting destiny. In the end, the most lasting transformations are the ones we build brick by brick, breath by breath, bowl by bowl. The universe rewards those who show up consistently, who act with love and belief, and who are willing to tend to their inner world as carefully as they tend to their outer one. That's the true magic of ritual. It doesn't just change your energy, it changes your life. Wealth is not only shaped by effort, talent, or opportunity. It is also shaped by the energy and beliefs passed down through generations. Many people unknowingly carry the emotional and energetic residue of their ancestors' stories of struggle, fears about money, limiting beliefs about success, and a deeply embedded expectation of lack. These inherited patterns form invisible chains that bind us to cycles of scarcity. No matter how hard we work or how much we desire change, breaking these cycles requires more than strategy. It requires conscious release. And sometimes the most humble tools, like a bowl of vinegar placed with intention, can become the agents of liberation. Generational lack is often unspoken. It hides in the way families talk or don't talk about money. It shows up in phrases like, "We can't afford that," "Money doesn't grow on trees," or "People like us don't get rich." These statements, repeated over time, form mental and emotional imprints. They shape the subconscious blueprint of children who grow up to become adults who unconsciously repeat the same scarcity-driven behaviors. Even when opportunities for wealth arise, these inner programs sabotage them through fear, guilt, procrastination, or self-doubt. Vinegar, known for its cleansing properties, can play a symbolic and energetic role in interrupting this cycle. When used with sacred intention, placed in specific areas of the home, such as the entrance, corners, or bedroom, it absorbs not just environmental negativity, but also the dense emotional frequencies attached to generational wounds. It becomes a tool of spiritual detoxification, allowing you to begin the process of releasing what was never truly yours to carry in the first place. You may not have created the scarcity mindset, but if it lives in your energy field, it still affects your reality. Breaking free requires acknowledgement. The first step is recognizing that generational poverty isn't just about a lack of resources. It's about a lack of energetic space for abundance to enter. It's a pattern etched into the family energy field, recycled through behavior and belief until someone decides to break it. That someone can be you. By establishing a ritual, placing vinegar, reflecting, setting intentions, you send a clear message to the universe. I am releasing inherited burdens. I am making space for a new story. Every time you replace the bowl, you're reinforcing that message. You're no longer unconsciously repeating the past. You are consciously creating a new energetic reality. This act may seem simple, but it holds deep spiritual weight. It honors your ancestors by acknowledging their pain while also refusing to carry it forward. It allows you to hold compassion for their struggles without letting those struggles dictate your future. You are not rejecting your lineage, you are healing it. You are stepping out of survival mode and into creation mode. Generational lack often travels through emotional silence, pain that wasn't processed, dreams that were deferred, trauma that was buried. All of it lives on in energetic form until it is faced and transformed. Rituals give us a way to confront these invisible inheritances, not with fear, but with reverence. You begin to feel the shift not just in your bank account, but in your spirit. You become more at ease, more open to possibilities, more confident in your ability to attract and receive. And that's when the cycle begins to break. You start making different choices. You begin to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You stop sabotaging your growth. You stop apologizing for wanting more. Because deep down something has shifted. You no longer feel like abundance is for other people. You recognize that it's your birthright too. This work isn't just for you. It's for those who came before you and for those who will come after. By clearing this baggage, you give your children and their children a different starting point. You turn inherited wounds into inherited wisdom. You become the pivot point in your family line, the one who changed the direction of the story. The bowl of vinegar on your table or tucked in a corner is not just a cleanser. It is a sacred witness to your transformation. It holds the weight of what you've chosen to release and the light of what you are ready to receive. With every ritual, you peel back another layer of inherited scarcity, allowing your true wealth frequency to rise and flow. Breaking the cycle doesn't require perfection. It requires presence. It requires willingness. And it requires the belief that even small, consistent acts done with love, clarity, and intention can dismantle centuries of limitation and open the door to a life of freedom, expansion, and abundance.